Today we're talking about what it means to have a leadership mindset. We have all had great bosses and horrible bosses. We've seen triumphant leaders and leaders who have failed. Not all leaders come in a cookie cutter model. They're not all the same shape or size. They don't come with the same experiences or knowledge, but what they do have in common are really easy to distill down to one fundamental principle. All great bosses, all great leaders, all great entrepreneurs have a leadership mindset. It's the way that they think, the way that they look at the world, the way that they address problems and obstacles that come in their way. That is the difference between a great leader and someone who's just playing house, someone who's just playing the game. And today, we're going to dive way deeper into the leadership mindset. Today, I'm going to show you how to increase your productivity 5-fold. And I'm going to share with you the secret steps behind leading strong teams. And I'm going to share with you the top strategy that all great leaders use. So what is mindset? First and foremost, your mindset is the thoughts and framework that your brain uses to understand the world around you. It's your way of dealing with problems and stresses that come your way. It's your way of looking at how to innovate. It's your way at understanding the world around you. So you've maybe heard about growth mindsets. And these are mindsets that help us grow and push ourselves and get to that next level rather than being stuck in the place that we are. We don't see a catastrophe in front of us as a catastrophe all the time. We may see it as an opportunity to learn or grow rather than an opportunity to stop, give in, curl up, throw in the towel, and move on to something else. A challenge should be something that is exciting to engage in. That's exciting to play with. Having a leadership mindset means that you understand your role at the head of your team. You understand that a leader is not always the loudest. It's not always the person with the highest seniority or the biggest title, but a leader can be any member of your group. So it's understanding that that is the essential part of your team. So, for example, I work with a lovely group of people who have all been put together from a bunch of other teams around the organization. And they all have these beautiful skills that work so well in their normal jobs. But when we come together in this team, it's beautiful to see how everyone finds those same leadership opportunities in this new structure without overpowering each other. Because each and every one of those team members understands the leadership mindset. Each and every one of those team members knows that within their role and whatever it is they are assigned to do for that day or that week or for that project or for that assignment, that they know that they can lead greatly with what they do. They can influence those around them because they have that leadership mindset. They know that leaders like to mentor those who are struggling and those who are new. Leaders know when it's time to say, well, maybe we had a schedule that said X, Y, and Z, but right now we need to be a bit more flexible, and that's okay. The leadership mindset is going to serve you well regardless if you work a 9 to 5 or regardless if you are the leader or the CEO of your team or your company or you're a pushing hard side hustling solopreneur working in your basement. It does not matter. Having a leadership mindset is absolutely what's going to set you apart. Let me know down in the comments if you find yourself to be the definition of a leader. What is a leader to you? How can you see leadership? Tell me what leadership looks like to you guys down in the comments below. I'm super curious because there are so many different definitions of leadership. I want to know what you guys are looking at. The biggest thing that fantastic leaders do when they put on that hat, that leadership mindset, if you will, when they train their brain to think a certain way, they realize that mentoring and supporting their team members, regardless of their job titles, regardless regardless of how long they've been in your team or whether or not they've proven themselves to you, whatever barrier or gate that these people are required to go through in order to earn the title of leader in your mind, whatever it is, the definition, the difference between a great leader and a bad leader or a crappy leader is a leader who is willing to mentor and motivate their team members. Bad leaders like to put their team members down and place the blame, all of the blame, on their shoulders, on the shoulders of their team members, yet they, the leaders, take all of the glory when things go right. If you see that happening in your team, that is a giant red flag. I want you to address that if that is what's happening in your teams and in your environments. Instead, what I want you to do is encourage leadership conversations. Encourage people to debrief at the end of an assignment or a project so we can figure out what worked, what went well, and what didn't, so that we can either get rid of that next time or we can create a system that's going to work better next time. So together, with your leadership mindset, with your team, and with your understanding of what it means to be successful in your movement, I want you to start playing the game. I also want you to hit that subscribe button because every week I release brand new videos helping you level up your influence, your authority, and your income online. Now I'm going to give you 3 incredible strategies that are not only going to help you get into a better leadership mindset, but it's going to help you use that mindset to the better. First, dress the part. And yes, I do mean clothing, but I also mean talking the talk and walking the walk. When you put yourself into that position of being a leader, this is about actions. This is about showing up and leading by example. And that requires you to live and be a leader. So dress like a leader, act like a leader, talk like a leader, have a schedule like a leader, lead your life. Second, I want you to set intentions, and I don't mean the woo-woo setting intentions at the beginning of your yoga practice, even though that is a fantastic thing to do. What I mean though is at the beginning of every project, the beginning of every meeting, the beginning of every workday, I want you to set your intentions for the day. What are your intentions for this next interaction with a client? What are your intentions with this next phone call with a client? What are your intentions with this project you're putting out there? What are your intentions with your live stream? It's very simple. Sometimes your intentions are what we like to call in the digital marketing world your calls to action, your CTAs. That could be as basic as it is. I'm putting myself on this live stream today because I intend to gather more calls, more sales calls. So that's what I intend to do today. That will help you stay focused, and that will also, when you make your intentions public to your team, that will help your team know where they need to focus their energies. All right, tip number 3 works great for everyone, leader or not, but it's a great tip for you leaders. And that is to start your processes by framing the experience and debriefing at the end. This technique comes out of outdoor leadership. This is where we're teaching people to do things that may seem a little bit scary, and it is it's an absolutely amazing, really impactful technique. So first, when you frame the experience, what I want you to do is just like setting intentions for that meeting or that client call or that live stream, I want you to first frame. That means telling us, why are we here? What is the purpose? What is the why behind things? Because when we start to understand it and we start to highlight before we even have the experience itself, when we highlight what is important, that actually sends triggers to our brain so that we actually start focusing on those specific things. That gives us more energy to the things that matter. And then at the end of the process, at the end of your assignment, at the end of your project, at the end of your meeting, I always like to bring my team back together and do a debrief. This is where we talk about, well, on this event, on this live stream, what went well? I really loved how we engaged with people. I thought that was really impactful. And I really liked how we worked together. While you were chatting, I was talking on camera, and while you were talking on camera, I was chatting with the chat, and we were able to encourage some more engagement. I thought that worked well. Right? So that's a positive debrief. You also want to make sure that we're looking at what didn't go well, or what could we try next time. And this sounds really, really boring, like it's wasting time. You've already done all of the work. That's the important part, right? But if you ever want to improve, the essential part of a leadership mindset is always wanting to improve, always wanting to push that tribe further and further. In visibility hacking, we always think about a mountain, right? And climbing that mountain. You've climbed the mountain before. That's why you're their leader. But you need to constantly be motivating them and pushing them further and further to that next peak, to that next level. You have that responsibility as a leader. So start stepping into it. Start using that energy so that we continue that cycle. Learn, frame, experience, debrief. Frame, experience, debrief. And once you've done a few of these debriefs, your framing is going to now start to reflect on what you learned in those previous debriefs. And then the cycle continues and continues and continues. And when it becomes automatic in your team, that is a beautiful moment. And other strategies, if you want them to help level up your influence, authority, and income online, are all packed together down in the link below in our Visibility Hacking Secrets Vault. I want you guys to access it today. It's a private members area just for you guys, full of all of the strategies that'll help you build your 6- and 7-figure businesses online. They're proven strategies from billion-dollar industries, multi-billion-dollar industries that I've synthesized down just for you. So check those out. And in the meantime, if you're looking for more interesting information, check out one of these videos. Until then, I'll see you next time.